gentlemen, I'll call the meeting to order. First thing is the pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you everybody for attending this evening. Okay, the first thing we have a consent agenda. We do have one addition. I have an addition, West Shore Services Inc., the invoice for the siren maintenance.
We already approved that like 2 months ago,
Oh,
or 3 months
you
ago.
I was
don't-
gonna say, this is,
Yeah.
we've done this,
We
Okay.
approved the
All right.
maintenance.
unless they're double dipping us.
Remember, because we had you double
Yeah.
check with them? Yeah, we already approved.
Okay, so we don't have that. Okay, good deal. All right, strike that. Jennifer, do you have anything to add, or? Okay. All right, any questions on the consent agenda? Okay, can I get a motion?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
We have a motion to approve, we have support.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion of support. Any further questions? If not, roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
Gang, yes.
Kazinsky, yes.
Stevens, yes.
Stover, yes.
Okay, motion carries. Citizens' comments. Anyone, we have another citizen comment at the end of the meeting, but if you want to address the board at this point, you're more than free to.
I would.
Okay.
My name is Donna Nember. I was on the ballot for the primary election. Obviously, Joe received the majority of votes. There's over 4,000 residents in Casco Township. Every one of them are your bosses, okay? Out of the 4,000 residents, there's 3,485 registered voters. That I verified with St. Clair County. Now, for some reason, less than 500 people showed up for the primary to vote. I'm disappointed in my community. When I went out and handed out information flyers to our residents in Casco, introducing myself, many of them had a lot of issues and complaints and concerns. Some of them said, why would you even want to work at Casco Township? It's a train wreck. There is so much drama going on at that township. Why would you even want to run? The reason I wanted to run is because I worked in the medical field for over 25 years. My priority was my patients, not the doctors I worked for, but for my patients, and I advocated for them. Since 2018, I got out of the medical field. I am still advocating for my customers at a very large corporate firm. I don't work for the company, I work for the customers. When they have concerns, my job is to detect and resolve. I find a lot of the issues are easily resolved just by simply listening to the person's concerns and then addressing and fixing the problem. If you can't fix it right away, you give them the opportunity to talk and listen to hear them, and then you let them know that you will research and look into the issue and then contact them back. Follow up is the most important thing you can do for your community. The township board makes decisions on a daily basis. It's once a month that you guys allow us to be a part of these decisions that you make for the township. They need to review, you, the board, the agenda for the meetings, days in advance. Each one of you needs to, in advance, ensure all topics are addressed and to make sure vital information is completed in a timely fashion for each other to work together on the board, to represent us as a community. I find a lot of I don't knows, or oh, last minute, let's add this. And like just a few minutes ago, you already decided on that months ago, but you brought it back up before the meeting started. I'm just asking for you to please do a better job in representing the residents. They are your boss. They're responsible to make any complaints to the government officials needed to draw attention to this township and the issues that are going on. My concern is it's being unheard or pushed aside and not dealt with. So I will be here each meeting as I can. As I've said before, my responsibility is for me now. This is my home for almost 20 years. And I will be darned if I'm just gonna let somebody push me aside and placate me and not hold them accountable for their actions or inactions. That's all I needed to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Does anyone else have anything they'd like to talk? Okay. Old business legal update. The one legal update I could say is
No, I
our.
don't think we need to have that on there. We talked about that last one.
Okay, I just wanted to give the update on the sign. Yeah, just our sign issue. We've had the contractors come on now, working on the sign, they replaced some parts. I'll be back in here to work with our sign programmer and hopefully get our sign the way we're supposed to. Okay, new business, East China Schools, we have Suzanne Sayadula.
I'm sure what you have
Thank you.
for class and just homework. I was a teacher.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, what was your name and?
Suzanne Sayadula,
Superintendent?
Superintendent of East China School District.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good evening. I wanted to thank you for giving me just a few moments to share with you information on a ballot proposal for the East China School District that will be on the November 5th ballot. I want to go back just a little bit and remind you that in 2019, the East China School District was asking our communities to look at the fact that we had severe declining enrollment, we had aging buildings, and we needed to make some decisions about how to move forward with our school district, especially with those two challenges. We put on a ballot proposal to have a central high school. We were going to combine Marine City and St. Clair and consolidate in that way and find economies of scale there. That ballot proposal did not pass. We went into our communities and talked to them to figure out why it did not pass, and what we heard over and over again is they liked their small hometown schools. They liked the Marine City and the St. Clair schools. I'm a graduate of St. Clair, my parents are graduates of Marine City. I understood the sentiments. So we went back to the drawing board. We still had the same problems. We still had aging buildings, we still had declining enrollment. We needed to get our square footage right sized to that enrollment. And so the second plan that we went out for in 2020, bond of 2020, was to consolidate our 612 buildings. So Marine City Middle School and High School have always operated as one building. They share resources, they share classrooms, they share all of that. And we were proposing in the 2020 ballot to do the same thing in St. Clair, which would then allow us to close 2 school buildings. We had already closed 1. So right sizing ourselves, updating all of the infrastructure, technology, the targeted needs in our buildings that were the most important were all part of that bond proposal. That bond passed 2 days before COVID shutdown. And we're very, very thankful for that. But it has taken quite a while for us to get those projects designed and in development and then under construction. So what has been completed so far under the bond projects, the Marine City 612 campus is close to completion. We still have a baseball field to install and some paving and parking lot to complete, but the majority of that project is done. The St. Clair 612 campus is completed phase 1 this summer. Bell River Elementary has all of its site work completed, paving, parking lots. That was all done because it needed to be pulled ahead. And then next summer, the rest of our elementary buildings will all be addressed. And Gearing, that's an elementary building in St. Clair, will shut down, and those students will move to what is now St. Clair Middle School on Yankee Road. And then that will be those 3 school buildings that we won't operate anymore. So that was the bond, and it's been incredible. And I was walking both Marine City and St. Clair today, and it's just, I feel so proud to be able to walk through these buildings and know that our students have these beautiful learning spaces. They're up to date, they have the best technology, all of the furniture is research-based so that they can get the best out of their learning each day. I just am proud, very goosebumps right now talking about it. But the second part of the financial stability of East China School District is bond dollars are one-time infusion of monies to upgrade, build, construct, buy furniture, do all that. Once those monies are gone, that's it. They have to be spent on what we said they'd be spent for on that ballot proposal in 2020. The next piece of the puzzle is we have to be able to upgrade, repair, and purchase buses and purchase technology. The avenue to do that in the state of Michigan for public schools is a sinking fund. Now, if you'll probably remember that school districts used to go out, we had a technology bond, we had a bus bond, we had all these different bonds to help us do what we needed to do to run the school district. Now what the state of Michigan has done is they put it all into the sinking fund. So bus purchases are sinking fund eligible, technology, safety and security, and repairs and replacement costs are all sinking fund eligible. So there's just one source of revenue instead of having to go out for all the others. The state of Michigan, and this is stated on, I gave 2 documents. The first one is an FAQ document, some questions about the bond and sinking funds. This is on our website. If you go to the East China School District website, there's a little button that says sinking fund information. Click on it, you'll find this there. You'll also find the flyer there. But on the FAQ document, that second paragraph, I think is extremely important for people to understand that the state of Michigan does not provide specific dedicated funds to school districts for repairs or improvement of school district facilities. It doesn't provide us funds to buy buses or funds for technology upgrades or any type of money directed in those areas. What they give us is a per pupil allowance that we then have to budget accordingly. And when we have a cost that comes up, and the one that always is frustrating to me is we'll have, a site cost, like a repair of a stormwater basin or something like that that's extremely expensive for the school district. Well, that has to come, if we don't have a sinking fund to pay for that, it has to come out of our general fund dollars, which our general fund dollars are the dollars we want to keep in our classroom. 85% of a school district's operating budget is salaries and benefits. We're a people organization. We don't make it, we don't make a product, we don't sell or develop it. We're a people organization. So on our budget, 85 to 87% of it is our salaries and benefits. So if you start needing to use monies for buying buses or upgrading facilities, you're going to start pulling from people. That's where it's going to come from. So the decision has to be made how you want to spend your monies. And just recently at our Performing Arts Center, which you were so graciously a part of developing, we had a fire suppression system that needed to be repaired. We can't operate without it. It has to be done. It was $25,000. And so that $25,000, luckily, we still have a little bit of a previous sinking fund that we could use, so that emergency cost could be handled. But that money will soon be not there anymore, and we're trying to replenish it with a sinking fund, a new sinking fund. So the 2.75 mils that will be on the ballot in November is a number that was developed with the help of consultants based on our size and the value of our school buildings. So we have the breakdown, and there's another presentation that has all of the monetary breakdowns that you don't have in front of you, but this will be on our website. But I can just share with you real quick. We have East China School District, we have 7 locations, multiple athletic fields, the Performing Arts Center, playgrounds, 30 buses, technology, and those all need to be repaired and replaced as needed. So on the structure side, our capital improvements, our total value in our buildings is, $238 million. So the rule of thumb is we need to have a capital improvement fund that's 2% of that, which is $4 million a year. Buses, if we approximately place 1 bus a year, or approximately replacing the cost of buses is $503,000 a year, and technology replacement is $558,000 a year. That doesn't mean that every year we're going to have that exact cost, but with the consultants we worked with, this is on average, this school district our size. We're 142 square miles, a school district, and it's a lot, especially with buses, maintenance, and that kind of thing. So on the website is also a calculator, so you can put in the value of your home, so you can see exactly what the 2.75 mils would mean for you personally with your house. And the hope is that with the bond that passed in 2020, we got everything upgraded. Now that we have our the facilities upgraded and the most extreme needs identified and repaired, the sinking fund would allow us to, the East China School District, to move forward in a very strong financial position. May I answer any questions?
Do you have extra of these that you can give out where residents, if they come in, just like a handful?
Yep, I do.
And then we'll have Katie put a link to your website on our website, just so people want to click on it, they can do the calculator or whatever.
Wonderful, that would be perfect. And at any time, if anyone has a question, I'm happy to talk or direct you to someone that can answer. So, thank you so much.
All right.
Appreciate it.
That was real education.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, next is resolution 2024-11, St. Clair County Road Commission 2025 Local Road Assistance Funding and Assistance Program. This year, even for next year, we've got, the township got some ARPA money from Commissioner Rushing. This ARPA money only can be used for items related to Clean Water Act. We have 2 more miles of St. Clair Highway to overlay. I asked them, is overlay relates to that? And the road commission says it does, and in fact, they highly recommend we use our money. So we're using this ARPA money in conjunction with the match grant we get from the county. Next year, we'll do 1 more mile of overlay from Church Road to Beatty Road on St. Clair Highway, and then the following year from Beatty Road to County Line. They'll complete the overlay of St. Clair Highway. We need to, the road commission was adamant we do this because if we hold off on St. Clair Highway, it can turn into a rebuild, and that's very expensive. So, using this money, we get money from the county, both from the ARPA and the match grant, so it won't come out of our general fund. So, any questions?
I do, the wording on this, because when I first read this, it says that it's going to be 50-50 matching funds from Casco Township and St. Clair County Road Commission. I think that needs to be worded because it makes it sound like we're matching 50% of that, and we're not.
Okay.
So I think you need to change the wording on that to show how you have it on the 3rd page here, where you have the LR FAP funds requested. I would put that wording right in there. The 9250 from, or the, sorry, the 92,500 from the LR FAP funds from the Road Commission, and then the 92,500 from the St. Clair County ARPA funds.
Okay.
Because when I first read that, I thought we were paying half, and then as I looked through it, I was like, makes sense.
Okay. But other than that, you agree with it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyone else have any questions on this?
No, as long as they're paying for it.
Yep. Getting 2 miles of water, at least 1 mile next year, and then the other mile last, okay. Can I get a motion on this?
I'll make a motion that we adopt resolution 2024-11, St. Clair County Road Commission 2025 Local Road System Funding Assistance Program.
Okay.
I just read.
As, with the amendments.
With
that
the
you are-
amended
changes.
wording.
Okay.
Changes in
I'll
this.
get
To show that we're not paying anything.
Okay, good catch, thank you.
I'll support.
Okay, we have a motion support to adopt resolution 2024-11, St. Clair County Road Commission 2025 Local System Funding Assistance Program. Any questions? Roll call vote.
It says ayes and nays.
Oh, you know, money. Okay.
I don't see any resolutions.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, here is the 2024 request for local millage distribution from St. Clair County Parks and Recreation. Here there shows on how much we'll be getting next year, and that Casco Township is using its share of the Parks and Recreation millage funds to maintain the grounds and facility of the Casco Township Bell River Park.
We have to resolve to request those funds, is that the case?
Yeah.
I would move that we do so.
Do we have support?
I support.
Okay. Any questions? Okay, roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
And yes,
Kazinsky, yes.
Stephen Chess.
Stover, yes.
Okay, motion carries. Okay, next one is compatible renewable energy ordinance, CREO. We have a solar ordinance, it just takes some tweaking to get it in line, compliance with the state, the new state law that's in effect. Wind power isn't much of a factor here. Matter of fact, Detroit Edison and other energy providers say this area of the state is not a wind corridor, so we don't have to worry about this. But what our planners are asked if we want to have battery storage. That's the third component of renewable energy. We're close to Detroit Edison towers. That's a positive. If someone has a solar farm, you could hook into that. But still, you never know, they may request a battery storage.
Facility,
Yeah.
a battery storage
Yeah.
facility.
So it's either, this law is either for renewable energy, wind, solar, or there's battery storage. We don't have anything in our ordinance right now for battery storage. And our planner was wanted to see if the board.
Can anybody describe to me what a battery storage facility might encompass?
Yeah,
How many
batteries.
acres would it take?
thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It has batteries in it, so it stores the energy?
Yeah,
Are you talking for a personal level or commercial side?
this is commercial.
It'd be commercial.
Because you're gonna have warehouses for that,
Yeah. Oh,
like massive
So
structures.
that would have to be in our industrial, commercial area only.
Well, not necessarily.
No, not
It could be in the
I
ag
don't think
area.
so.
the state would over.
The state can take whatever they want, what they do law.
Yeah. See,
That goes back to
The
the
state.
two bills that passed earlier this year that took.
So
the
this is a
local-
moot point, isn't it?
well.
Yes and no.
Yeah,
We want to regulate it at least as best we can,
right.
even though they might be able
And
to
how
place
would
it
we do
wherever
that?
they want to.
If we design our ordinance to be compatible with the state law,
Yes.
and then we're further ahead in regulating these, if we don't have nothing at all, that's where the state comes in.
I see.
So,
So it's a preemptive strike.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I have a question. What does our planner suggest? What is her opinion?
Her opinion that we should have battery storage.
definitely.
Yeah,
All right.
a battery storage ordinance. What's nice though, I mean, we are close to Detroit Edison high transmission lines and that you know, they would tap into something like that in order to transmit power. But, you
That
never
would be-
know.
That would be to our benefit.
Yeah, but like Karen, she recommended that we have also a battery storage ordinance.
Well, I suppose that we should put something in the books which the state can honor or not.
Yeah, if we design it, it's compatible with the state, we have more leverage over it than
I
if
see.
we don't have none at all, or if it wasn't.
So where would we get the energy from to put in this?
Well, it would either
From
come
wind or
from,
solar.
yeah, wind or solar would be
Yeah.
stored in these facilities.
Wind and solar is when the wind blows, the battery wind doesn't, and solar is in the day, and the sun
So
shines,
it would
hopefully,
be
and the
solar,
battery
but
at night.
not wind.
The technology's really surging right now in terms of big batteries,
Yeah.
and big storage.
Yeah, this is not a wind corridor.
No, except my house.
Except you.
Shut lane is
So-
occasionally-
She's asking on this email too, if wind is unlikely, does the township wish to pass a CREO for that?
I would say no.
Why would you say no?
What's that?
Why would you
If
say
it
no?
isn't likely.
Yeah, if it's unlikely, I mean,
Don't we already have an ordinance?
we do have it, but it's for smaller windmills, like their home units, not large industrial. Yeah, the big ones like up in the thumb, you see one. Those-
Yeah, where there's wind.
Yeah.
So, because I know this bill goes into effect at the end of November,
Right.
and that's why I asked you to put this on for last month, because now we're gonna wait another month, because she's gonna have to work on coming up with an ordinance, it's gonna have to go to the planning commission, right? So when is it coming to us?
It could come to us as soon as, a couple of months in November.
It goes into effect at the end of November, so
Right.
I think we need to have our stuff done before then,
Mhm.
to cover, because why
Right.
bother,
Well, who knows how long it would take Karen to take?
I don't think they have a lot of templates on this. I think she's ready to go.
I mean, this should be ready to go. They've done this all over the state. So it should be a matter of putting our information in.
And bringing the
And
board next month.
because the state would look at it if it fell into line with every other
Right.
township ordinance that allowed this or allowed that.
Matter of fact,
We're not reinventing the wheel here.
when they were debating in Lansing, Representative Green asked to see the communities in her district, their solar ordinance. So I sent her ours, and they commented ours was one of the better ones.
Well, it's better to be prepared than surprised.
So should we ask her to bring it next, have it ready for our next
Yeah,
board
I can do
meeting?
that.
And
So
then,
if it's for our next board meeting, that would be the second Tuesday in
Tuesday.
October.
Yeah.
So it would have to be on next week's planning commission, and the agendas have already gone out, and the packets have already gone out. Or some of them are still here waiting to do it. But
It's the best we
if the
can do,
planning
it's the best we
commission
can do.
Yeah.
needs to work on it, then that
Yeah.
needs to be on next
Needs
week's
to be
agenda.
their priority.
I'll call Karen first thing in the morning and tell her, let's go for it.
And then you need to make sure that that stuff gets into the planning commission's packet, so that
Yeah,
they have it,
For next week.
and they have it a week to read it and research it and do whatever they need to do.
Okay?
Oh, let's hope we don't need this.
Okay. All right. Next one is Resolution 2024-12, resolution to approve Institute for Responsible Government Grant. Jennifer, would you like to address
Yeah,
that?
so I secured a grant for us for elections for $6,000, and I attached the approval from the Institute for Responsive Government and what we can use it for. And I just need to get approval from the board to go ahead and accept that. So my plan is to use it towards our election closet to be more secured.
Oh, good.
And if we need more voting booths, we will get those. There's quite a few things that the things can fall into the different categories. So if we need to get another laptop for electronic holdup, we can do that. So I just need the board's permission to go ahead and accept that.
So moved.
Support.
Good work.
Okay, we have motion support to adopt Casco Township Resolution 24-12, resolution to approve Institute for Responsive Government grant.
You got, this is the second grant like this that you've gotten, isn't it?
Yep. Any
Very
comments?
good.
Any comments?
Good job.
Yep. Okay, roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
And yes.
Kazinsky, yes.
Stephen Chess.
So, yes.
Okay, motion carries. Okay, next thing is high-tech quote, number HTSQ 16786.
Just had to add something. Tried to grab the other one, 'cause it was,
He just had to add something to the original quote that he forgot to put on there. That was,
so we approved the quote last month that they gave us, but
I
when
can
we
grab it if you
paid.
guys want me to.
Could you do that?
Yeah, just give me 1 second, okay?
What did they add?
She's gonna go grab the
I
original
have
quote.
a
It was
question.
one of the items, I wanna say it was, one of the cable things.
I have a question about the quote, and I'm no expert in this stuff, but I tried to find a number of the items on the internet and see what they really cost. And it seems as though their costs are higher than a lot of the costs for the identical items on the internet. We've run into this with them before. I think they're good. They do what they need to do for us. But I'm not sure about, I wish we had someone who really
Yeah, I don't know anything about
check these
electronics.
costs, because it would appear that there's at least $1,000 of extra costs from what you could get these things on Amazon for, many things, like the cables, for instance.
Mhm.
That's a real high cost for the same cable.
And would they allow us to buy something
I don't
from
know.
Amazon
Well,
and then
I
give it
don't
to
really
them
wanna-
to install?
Well, no,
I don't
I
think
don't wanna cherry pick them to
Yeah,
death,
that's
but
what
I
we do.
am concerned that they're padding some of these costs in a way that we should be concerned about. For, if I was correct in locating the major StarTech 4-post 25U server rack cabinet, I think it's about $1,000 on Amazon, same cabinet, if I identify it correctly. There's a lot of data that would indicate maybe I did identify it correctly. It's like $981. I mean, they're charging us $1,365, $1,365. Add all that up, and $100 here and $100 there on 4 or 5 items, you've got $1,000, $1,500 on a quote that's $7,000. That's a pretty big inflation.
But they are running a business and they are taking good care of us.
That is true.
And it's like any other business, you could get cheaper on Amazon with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You gotta look at the final
Well,
result.
Yeah.
but they do also charge us, there's a $300 shop material charge. So it would seem if they're quoting costs for items that they're buying for us, I'm not sure it's how the, like say, ethics go about inflating those costs to us. If they're also charging for labor costs and getting them and picking them up or getting them delivered and so on, because there is costs to them.
And they have a lot of overhead like any other business, so they
But I'm not sure where we want to see that overhead, whether it's in the 300 in shop materials or if there's a labor cost, I don't know. Just raising the issue because it concerns me.
So how do you want to address that?
I don't know. I guess I would adopt this, yes, because we want to go forward. And they've been serving us well.
Right.
But we might want to ask them to give us some more data on their equipment costs and why they charge us what they do.
extra Wi-Fi.
I mean, why are they charging us $14 for a cable that costs $5?
Do you want to?
You know, I mean, pardon?
Do you want to do
I
that?
could talk to someone.
Okay.
I would be willing to.
Okay.
Call
So-
me. I'm not far.
So from the first quote that we approved last month, they added, it was one of the Wi-Fi, on the bottom of the page, the Hewlett Packard, see how it says 4? We had only approved the bottom 2, we only approved 3. So it's a total increase of $304. I think that's the extender thing, so you know how like we have a extender, that thing, I think,
Yeah,
for
it's for
Wi-Fi, for the Wi-Fi to work better up here. I think that's what they're
There's
doing for
two
there.
in there.
They put two in
And
our
that,
office,
yeah,
our
in the
new
building,
office.
so we can get better Wi-Fi, yeah.
So that's the increase.
I guess the reason I said anything is because I used to run a business and people could come to my business and purchase what they wanted. They could go someplace else, but they got a lot of service at my business.
And we get a lot of service from these
Right,
guys.
and
There's no
sometimes you
question
have
about
to
that.
charge more for that because you have to make a profit because you've got a lot of overhead.
And we don't have a lot of room for downtime.
No.
So this is, Jennifer, you said 300?
304
304.
increase, yeah.
Okay, 304.
One of the ones for 289 and one for 50. Plus two.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion support to, for the two Wi-Fi extenders for a cost of $304. Any comments?
Dan, you can.
Yeah, I'll come back with some comments after I talk to the folks. I suspect they may have a rational explanation for why the costs are kind of high. The last time we questioned them about the drops, they reduced the cost of the drops, a whole bunch of cable drops in the office, because I thought that was
Right.
like $250, and we got them for half the price, and there was a bunch of them, so.
Well,
That's
I think it's just a good idea, keep your fingers on the
That's right.
ask them what they're doing and why they're doing it, that's all. That's the only thing I'm suggesting.
Okay, all right, roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
Dan, yes?
Kazinsky, yes.
Stephen Chess.
over, yes.
Motion carries. All right. This is about the park entrance. This is the cost I got from Ward to put the medium use entrance into the park. It's $42,290. It's a lot of money. I sent it to our park planner for her and her engineer to look it over. They thought the cost was high, and they compared it to a park that was done over near Muskegon. You can see the picture on there.
Well, this is Muskegon here?
Yeah, it's a township over there. I asked them for a Ward or rebuttal why the increased cost. They sent it over. However, I was talking with Pam, and what concerned her, they didn't put any quantitative stuff to it, you know, how much material more than the one over there.
Oh,
Yeah, so, as I see it, there's three ways we could go on this. Either one, we could approve this, the cost as if. Two, we could ask Ward to get more of a quantitative thing.
break it down for us a little bit more.
Yeah. There's a way, Pam said also too, Ward included asphalt. There's a way if we do concrete instead of asphalt in the center part of the, it'll be cheaper.
Really?
Yeah. Concrete, it used to be before asphalt was cheaper than concrete, now it's the other way around. Or three, okay, that's one there, two, or three. Three, we could ask the DNR to modify our agreement and open it up for bids, again, for the park entrance.
Well,
That worries me right there because we have a contract with Ward.
Yeah.
So
I would think that if that's the route we want to take, we need to do something in writing and have Ward sign it that says we're not breaching the contract with him. Or
Yeah, because
have an attorney look at
that
it,
smacks of
whatever,
breach
because
of
we don't need
contract
to-
to me.
But there is so much stuff on here. I don't know if you guys took the time to read through it. But I'll give you a couple examples of things that I think are unacceptable. In that first section, under the 6,900, the fourth thing, bond charge increases.
Yeah,
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but when a company pulls a bond, they put the bond, and then when the construction is complete, they get that bond back. What are they charging us for?
Are we gonna get it back?
No, they shouldn't charge us at all, because they're gonna get it back.
Yeah.
So that was one of them.
Okay.
Another thing is, the very first thing, the remobilization of excavating equipment.
Right.
So, if I read through here, which one was the one? Oh, on the second page, under the 13,340, the second item there, remobilization of concrete contractor and equipment due to delay and all other aspects of original bid scope being complete. Okay, so, there was another one on here about the,
There's a whole bunch of
Oh, here.
utilization
no,
charges.
yeah, on the, okay, sorry, it's on the first page, under the 14,700 towards,
Right.
it's the last bullet point. All material excavated to be exported off-site due to restoration being complete and turf established. Okay, my question is, why is the turf already established if they knew that we needed to do something with this apron, this entrance? Why did they complete it? Because that's not our fault that they went and did landscaping or whatever they did, and now they're saying that they have to redo it.
Yeah,
And they
that,
have to take the dirt out.
that would be just right up at the road.
That's not my point though, John. My point is, why did they finish it? If the entrance isn't complete, why did they finish anything? They should have waited. That's a question.
Yeah, to me, they can do, the work that they have done won't interfere with what they have to do here.
According to what they're doing, they're charging
No,
us more.
I think here, Ward needs us, I would like to see better explanation here.
I would like to see Mr. Ward at a meeting so that we can ask him these questions, because if I'm asking you something, it
Right.
doesn't, yeah.
I asked them to attend, they were unable to attend this evening.
I was just getting to that, thank you. Under the second section, the 10,350, the third bullet point, supervision of subcontractor. So, he's charging us to supervise a subcontractor.
There's a lot of iffy points in
Yeah.
there.
This was originally about 150,000, so this is about a 25% increase, if I got that wrong.
It was 13
I never got a copy of the original
It's
bid.
big.
All I got was in the board packet, all I got, and I don't
But
know if
what
you
was
guys
it?
ever saw the
Yes,
original
yeah.
bid package. All I saw was a summary sheet from Pam Blau, showing Telto's and Wards.
But how much, it was about a $150,000 project, right? Is that
I think
what was
they're
the
around,
original one?
What?
The total price of
Yeah,
it?
total
Oh,
price. No?
it was 300 and something.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
maybe, it's not a 25% increase, but it's a substantial.
Yeah.
Well, I thought
6%,
originally,
1/6.
when we looked at it last month, the $6,000 is what they had as a line item for the entrance.
Yeah, well, that was for a low usage in
And I'm gonna go back to what I said last month. I still don't understand why Pam Blau, who is our park project manager, whatever her title is, she knew we were doing phase 1, 2, and 3. That was always in the books, to do 1, 2, and 3. It doesn't matter that we combined 1 and 2. We were still gonna do 1, 2, and 3. So why didn't she, when she did this planning, say, oh, well, you're gonna have 1, 2, and 3, so you should get a medium duty or,
Yeah, why would the entrance
I
change?
don't understand that. And I'm sorry, but I don't think it's acceptable.
Yeah, I think her engineer didn't do the research into,
And why are we paying for
Why
that?
don't we send him a letter, or call her and then send her a confirming letter to try to answer that question rather than speculate.
And again, I would like to see
There may be
her-
reasons that we can ask her. I think she would respond and tell us, and maybe we'd like the answer.
I would like
Maybe
to
we
see her
wouldn't.
on a Zoom,
Yeah.
because I know
Well,
she's
that
in
would
Grand
be fine,
Rapids,
too.
but I would like to see her,
Okay.
like how, when we first had her here, she would do the Zoom with us.
Yes, I don't understand that
All
concept
right.
at all. When the project is finished, we have to have an entrance that is compatible with a finished project. You aren't going to expand the entrance as you add phases.
That's like one of the first things to put
Right.
in.
That's what I just, you know what, I'm not an engineer. I don't know how those things work.
Well, none of us
But
are,
it's
but
just common sense to me.
Yes, it does, it's.
That the finished project is going to be a 20-acre parcel going down to the river. How many people are going to be able to inhabit 20 acres and the pavilion and this and that? Are we talking 150 people? Are we talking 500 people? And if we are, the entrance
What changes it?
Yeah,
doesn't change.
what is so is the entrance based on the amount of people coming through, or is it based on the weight that comes through?
The number of parking spaces, so the number of people.
Was there a
Again,
change
That
that,
doesn't even make
Phase 1,
sense.
2, and 3, we're
So
always
the
gonna.
parking spaces are in phase 1.
And two, yeah, phase one.
was there a
Well, we
a
can
change
go
So
phase
if
one
we
and
don't
two.
put in
Come down to-
another parking place, then why would the entrance
Got a question.
expand?
Yeah, Dan.
Did the county change something along the way? I recollect there was a
Yes,
communication
I think
from
they
the
did.
county that told us we had to do something differently, is that true?
That's correct,
Okay.
yeah.
And we're saying that Pam should have known the county was gonna say that, or something along those
Yeah,
lines?
that's,
And we'd like to explain what really went on here. Because I think we're missing some of the sequence of
missing
events
something.
here.
And we might, but I'm looking at her other projects. The closest one to us, I believe, is a park in Fort Gratiot. Now, Fort Gratiot has twice our population. They would have twice the visitors to their park at any given day than we would in Casco Township. Was that a problem? Did they figure out what the proper entrance was to a park of that size?
well, I'll
I
arrange,
just,
I'll arrange for Pam to be here at next meeting via Zoom, and we'll ask her these questions and that. So in the meantime, I think we should put this on hold, get it done, and I'll tell the board I want more explanation on some of
yeah,
these.
just,
Okay.
There's a lot of weird things.
I just,
Well, the one thing, we have to have the medium use entrance, okay?
we have what?
We have to have the medium use entrance. Once we build it, we're good forever on it. And,
Yes, but
Why wasn't
we
it
should have
built?
been good forever on the original quote.
well, if we did just phase one,
We
okay?
weren't always gonna, we were
We
always
were
doing phase
always
1, 2,
going
and
to-
3.
yeah.
It
Yes.
was always 1, 2, and 3.
It was just how we were going
We
to
were gonna
pay
just
for
do
it.
1 and then 2, but we were always gonna do 3. So
Understand.
when that entrance, when Pam or whoever planned that, it should have been like, okay, they're gonna have 3 phases, it's gonna be 1, 2,
But
3.
the
This is
end
how many
result is
parking
going to be,
spaces are gonna be total,
yes,
and that's the entrance. That's my point.
Right, I understand.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think though, when her designer designed it, he designed it phase one, just low, usage.
then that should have been caught by
That
their
doesn't
office
make
any
when we
sense.
combined it, because she's the one that told us to go for the Spark grant to combine them, correct?
Well, the passport grant,
Or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
There might have been, I want to hear what Pam has to say, because there was a lot of different points of asking for money and grants along the way. Then there were communications from the county that caused us to have to do it differently at this time. And I would just like to hear what she has to say. We're making a lot of assumptions that it was all wrong. It might well be, but let's hear her out.
All right.
It's just very strange.
Yeah.
I also am more concerned with not why it happens, but how we're gonna get this thing finished. It's a really nice park. I drove over there just yesterday, with the dogs. And it's really nice looking,
Yeah.
except for somebody ran over the lawn, but
Yeah.
that's not so nice. But
Well,
it's really nice.
boulders.
I mean, the sign looks great from the road, and the park is really nice. from the-
Boulders,
the
the top.
building looks great, so,
we,
I have folders.
you know. But how, we really, the question is, get this thing finished, let's get it
well, we're
done.
lucky in the one point there, we don't have to do a de-acceleration lane or center turn lane. That would have been very expensive. So,
Well, getting back to this, okay, if I'm looking at this, this tells me that Ward doesn't really want to do this, or that they don't care and they're just gonna try to get whatever they can price-wise with some of these explanations.
I'm gonna be asking.
Like supervision and management,
That's in all of them. Supervision of subcontractor, supervision.
Right.
It's in all of it.
They need babysitters.
Yeah,
Apparently.
if they're gonna hire a
It's a
subcontractor,
daycare.
then you have to trust them. You can't supervise everything, or else do it yourself.
Okay.
Why two people?
So we'll put this on hold and get,
See if we
So
can get
meanwhile,
Ward-
while
we
this
should
is
see
all
if
on
we can
hold,
get
the park
Ward
is
to come
closed.
down on some of these elements. He's
Yeah, oh, yeah.
mobilizing excavation equipment twice, he's mobilizing other stuff
I
twice.
know.
And, you know, and I'm not sure what's that about, but you know, this is an anecdote, but I took some classes in town about 10 years ago. They said many times, the money's in the change order stand. It's in the change order.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you have,
I
then
think
you
we
change
said
the
that at the
scope of
very
work,
beginning.
change the scope of work, you end up getting hit, and you're in a box.
Did we say
Right,
that?
exactly. You
And
have
that's
no
it.
choice.
We're in a box,
Mhm.
a bit.
yeah.
Or more than that.
But he's a resident, we should knock around on the edges of that, on the box.
Okay. All right. Park update.
Park up.
Park is, other than the entrance, it's almost complete. One, the striking and the handicap parking area with the traffic stops and the picnic tables need to be added. Other than that, it's just about done.
so I have a question about that. Is there a way that we can, I know they have automatic gates, is that in any of our bids to have the automatic gates?
Well, automatic gates, we would have to bring electric into the park.
Okay,
Yeah.
so how are we going to stop, like, the vandalism that just occurred?
Yeah,
There's
that's,
gotta be something,
I agree, but that's, developing a park is a long-term proposition. Do we have a one gate? Absolutely, that's what we should, looking forward to do. But that's, right now, there's plenty of parks where they're open to the public like that. But at a certain point, yeah, they have.
so when you're doing the budget for the park, you should probably have, I don't know where you're gonna get the money from, but in the back of your mind, think that we're gonna have to probably fix ruts and whatever, because people are gonna be driving around snowmobiles.
Well, that's
Well,
You're gonna have all kinds of
17
stuff.
Boulders and logs.
Yeah,
$21,000
That's
of
what Columbus said.
maintenance.
Yeah.
Boulders and logs.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna
Crazy
call
park.
our insurance broker to see about the recent damage there. Person driving down the wall, see if we could file a claim on it.
See how much it's gonna,
Raise it.
Might only be too bad
like,
to
not
dirt.
even be.
Yeah,
worth it.
it's too big to do some grass.
Yeah, and they may,
You might not want to get the insurance company.
Yeah, you don't, I
Yeah.
don't think you want to get the insurance company involved.
Okay.
A small claim like that.
all right, okay, the next one is new legal requirements for sick time.
So I had Joe put this in the packet last month, and I wanted some kind of action taken on it, but it was just an FYI. So there's a new law, and it's gonna be effective February 21st, 2025, and that requires all Michigan employers to provide paid sick time to their employees. So if you guys read through this, we have to pay 1 hour of sick time for every 30 hours our employees work. So it's gonna be up to us how we do it. If we have like a general PTO, which is paid time off, or if we're gonna do it separate, how we're gonna track it. This has to be a board, either a board decision or you direct me to do it. I'm not doing it on my own.
Isn't it, doesn't this allow us to combine like personal time off and sick time and
That's would be
even
PTO.
vacation time?
That would be if you
All
just do
as a-
PTO.
as like a
and lump it
consolidated
together.
bank. So maybe we don't have any major like super duper changes to make, but by combining
Well,
what we've got
We would,
as a
because
multi-purpose bank. No?
we'd have to figure out how to track the hours, because
I gotcha.
everybody works
Yeah, you have
different
to accrue
hours.
The accrual.
Right, there'd have to be a way that we track that. And how, I'd have to call the SNA and see,
I bet you they can do that. Because so many places have accrued sick time.
oh, I understand that,
Right.
but we don't do our timesheets through the SNA, we do them by hand. So that would be something where we would have to keep track.
Yeah, for sure.
So you're talking about combining two?
Board action, so Jennifer, you're saying that we just have to agree that we're gonna be doing this.
There's no agreement,
No,
it's
we
by
have
law.
to do it.
Yeah.
So what I need you guys to do is either to make a decision how we're gonna do this, or direct me how you want me to do it. I don't know, that's,
Do you want to do it through the clerk's office?
It has to, that's what
it's gonna have to,
It's gonna
though,
have
but
to come through.
how do we wanna do it? Do we wanna do it as just sick time? Do we wanna do it with a general PTO? You guys we have to decide as a board how to do it.
PTO, that would seem like it'd be easier if it was just a one sum like that.
I don't think it's gonna be easier either way, because Brenda has certain vacation time, Linda has certain vacation time, Vicki does, Kate, everybody has different times, so we're gonna have to keep track of it no matter what.
And
I
we
don't
do
think it's
that
gonna
by
be
hand
easier.
now.
Right, I don't think it's gonna be easier either way, it's just how you guys wanna handle it.
The vacations, Jennifer at the beginning of the year puts however much time they get. So it's in BSNA. And every time they take a vacation day, it takes it off. So they know on their pay stub what their vacation.
But the total is in the beginning, this is you're accruing it through
This
the
is
year,
different.
so
Oh, I
it's
see.
different.
Yeah. Vacation, you've got a scale in the book, but Brenda and Linda get different because you guys accrue differently for them. Me and Katie are on a scale.
So yeah, it's different because you accrue it as you work the hours.
This is.
So starting February 21st, whatever hours are worked after that, then they would start accruing.
And does this continue to build up this?
I need to, I guess, look into it, because there's nothing on here that says if it rolls over. I don't know if that's
Well,
like our discretion.
I'm not sure we're in such a big pickle here, because it says, therefore, an employer who provides an all-purpose paid sick time off, PTO bank, is not required to create an entirely new sick bank or sick leave system if the PTO accrual already meets the minimum
We don't
set
have
by
that.
the ESPA.
We don't have a PTO right now.
But we can probably change what we do have in that manner, I would think.
So how do we handle that though? So if you're getting your vacation time in the beginning of the year and your sick time at the end of the year, well, you could accrue it. So say Vicki worked however many hours it would take to take a day off, starting in February, so say like in April, and she got sick and she took that, there's gotta be a way to track.
Well, if we combine the sick, vacation, and PTO time all in a single bank, we'd probably be where we need to be.
So you're saying to take your vacation because it's PTO.
I understand
So
that,
you're not
but
getting
You know, I'm not sure, but I think that we might be where we need to be without an elaborate accrual system, except for those who don't get enough vacation. I guess I don't really think
okay.
this is the place to work that out either. But I think that it may not be as hard as it looks.
I think this is in addition to the vacation. So I think where you're coming from is you're saying that they could use vacation time as sick time? Is
Yeah,
that-
The state of
I
Michigan
understand
is the
this.
only state in the continental United States that has a rule that you have to provide sick time for your employees.
Over and above vacation.
Over and above the PTO,
Right,
and
goes
it's
into
accrued
effect.
I don't know.
per work hour. And how you can track it is, you keep the accrued hours separate from your PTO. You do not include it.
That's.
And you bank that
I like that.
on that employee
Right.
per
Exactly what I'm
hours
saying.
worked,
No,
period.
I
But
like-
it does
I like
say,
that.
any
That's-
paid
yeah.
leave to count towards the minimum, such as paid leave time for sick, vacation, or personal time. All of those can count toward this PTO requirement. It can be a single bank that serves all of those purposes. So if vacation time was authorized for sick, I mean, I don't really think this is the exact place to work this
Right,
out.
right.
I think that
Right.
maybe it's worked out behind the
Well, all I have
scenes
to
and then
say,
run by the lawyer.
all I have to say is the clerk's office needs
Yes.
to know how to do this before February 21st, and I will not accept doing it last minute.
And nor should you.
No,
No,
you
no,
should not.
we have to
Should
do.
not.
I, myself, I
That's
like
something
the
you should
two.
have to do.
You have your time off for vacation time and the sick time is separate. I think that'd be easier.
Well, you
I'm
guys
not
as a
so
board
sure that's
tell
the
me
case.
when, like, if you guys want to do a special meeting, whatever you want to do, but you guys need to figure it out.
Okay.
Does that have to be approved by the board?
I would think so. I mean, we have to do it by law, but how we do it, I think, needs to be approved by the board.
All right.
So, no, there were not in our writing because nothing was discussed.
Nothing was
So,
discussed.
do you guys
So-
want to have a special meeting about this? And if you do, when?
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
When you come back?
They
Yeah.
have to be at the end of September.
Okay.
Actually, no, our ballots are going out at the end of September, so.
I got you.
okay. Okay. Ballots at the end of September. You'll be back at what time, Jen?
On the 23rd, but I'm not doing it the day I get back.
Okay. How about we do it on Thursday the 26th?
Okay, and who's gonna have the information? There has to be something brought to the meeting that tells us what we're doing.
Let me look into it. I'll contact MTA.
Unless you just wanna have like a workshop meeting and discuss it, and then,
Okay.
I think that the one question that we really need to answer is, it says, if an all-purpose paid PTO bank is not required to create an entirely new sick leave system, the PTO accrual already meets the minimums set by the ESTA. And I think if we answer that question, in most cases, it'll probably be yes, it does.
can you look into that?
I'm not, no.
That's your question.
I think the lawyer should, I think that, I already suggested that
Right.
it's not a layperson decision exactly. The board might want to decide which way it wants to go and then ask the lawyer if that's a good way to go. I'm not a lawyer.
All right. Jen, I'll get the information, get it all together.
So when are we doing a special meeting then?
It would be Thursday, September 26th.
What time?
What time would be good?
Afternoon,
Afternoon?
after two,
Gina?
2 or
2
later.
o'clock.
2 o'clock, okay.
What day is that?
A Thursday,
I don't know what day is the
26th.
yes, September 26th. Okay. All right, any other questions on that? The last one is the budget amendment. Any questions on it?
I'm gonna tell you like I told you before, I will not approve something that comes to me on the board table when I don't have time to look at it.
Well,
I asked you to put budget amendments on it last week. I asked you actually at the end of the last meeting to do budget amendments for this month, so you had all month to work on it. You guys can go, try to vote if you want, but I will.
no.
But the problem is, Joe, is you're gonna postpone it till next month. And then there's gonna need to be more budget amendments. You can't expect us to approve something that is money related when I get it when I come sit down at 6:50.
How about,
I don't feel comfortable with it.
how about we Okay. Any more citizens' comments? Nick?
Nick Graber, 4840. Was the board not the one who also wanted more money, because they screwed up on their bid for doing the park to begin with? And then he came back and said, well, we screwed up and we need actually bigger stone down there, so we need more money. But we shot it down because that was,
Oh, that.
your job is construction and you're a contractor, that's, you should know that.
Yeah, as it turned out, they added the stone, it worked out fine.
Right. This could be a retribution for that. Potentially with the nitpicking of, oh, well, now I have to bring all my equipment back. Well, you shouldn't have left it, you should have finished it when you started.
Yeah, well, that wasn't even, when they did that last fall, this wasn't even, a factor.
But that's where that goes.
Okay.
You have to, I would say, go back in the original contract and see what's in there. I didn't see it, obviously. The park thing with people from going in the grass, the one that's gonna stop people is boulders. Columbus did it, they're what, 2 feet apart, big boulders.
Okay,
They're expensive, but you can't drive through them and you can't drive over them.
that's not,
No.
yeah, okay.
They have solar gates too. You get a little solar panel that covers that way. Might have enough power.
Oh,
And then, does Casco have traffic cameras? Why is there one on 32 Mile Road in front of the gas station? Right behind the,
Which corner is it?
it's right behind the hospital sign, going towards the park. When you go over the expressway heading towards St. Clair, there's the hospital sign, and there's a solar panel right above the hospital sign.
I've seen
Yeah,
it.
like-
That is a traffic camera that faces,
Yeah.
towards St. Clair.
Expressway, I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
It is the same one that is in, that St. Clair has and Rain City has.
Yeah,
in their
I
intersection.
wouldn't be surprised that's MDOT that has those.
They're not in everywhere though. St. Clair, East China, and Rain City have them. Nobody else has them. And Rain City's got them at like their 4-way stop signs for people that blow through the stop signs.
Right.
So,
I
And
just
it's hidden-
started to notice them.
it's hidden really well
Yeah, yeah.
because the hospital sign's right here and it's right butted up against it facing towards St. Clair.
Oh, I'll be
Oh,
just.
So-
wow. Good eye,
They're pretty sneaky.
Yeah.
good eye.
All right, thank you, Nick. Anyone else? Simon?
Jerry Simons. Part of the East China School District's proposal for the millage stuff, you don't see 2 neighboring school districts listed in here that are part of Casco Township, Anchor Bay or Richmond. They should include them in their brochure, since Casco serves 3 different school districts.
Yeah, but
It's
they
separate
just serve
though.
St. Clair
Well,
County,
it's
so
St.
they
Clair
don't
County.
care what Macomb County does.
They get Alma, they got Armada, up Round City,
Yeah.
they got
Well, we need just for comparison, say,
Comparison, say,
They should,
yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
That'd be.
Oh, yeah.
Because- especially for Casco.
Well, they only listed the St. Clair County schools I was looking, they didn't list Macomb County. Anchor Bay and Richmond are considered Macomb
I
County.
think.
Like you said, Armada's in
Armada's-
Oh, they listed.
Well, Native Macomb,
Yep.
Oh, really?
Memphis,
Alma,
there, yeah,
That's
that's.
St. Clair.
so,
Alma?
That's what
Young City.
That's Lapeer.
Jerry, I was gonna contact the superintendent and ask her why,
Yeah, we should
ask
ask.
her to provide that information.
Because those look
Yeah.
better.
you know,
Yeah, I
But
agree,
that
though,
way-
if you're coming in front of,
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, she was only addressing one East China, I'm the only one here that pays East China taxes.
They try to get me every year.
I know they Yeah, well, you pay more
The
taxes. than
second
Richmond.
thing
I do.
is, like the park entrance,
Yeah.
is the discussion you have about the ward and Pam and all them, an urgent matter, that you need to call a special meeting before next month?
No,
No.
it's not an urgent matter.
Okay. Because, with delays and stuff like
Yeah.
that, that's what I was wondering.
When I was talking to Ward yesterday, they even said, because it's starting to get late in the construction season, even if this has to be postponed, the construction until next
Okay.
spring. Fine.
Okay.
So, yeah, if we postponed it,
Then
but
he'll
we
raise our
approved their
prices.
bid, what if? Hold on.
Give us a bigger bid.
No, there's something about winter something in here.
You can do construction in the winter.
Oh, potential winter charges due to time of year of approval and install.
So he's gonna double the price if you do it in the
He's
winter.
got a contractor's yard.
Well,
But he lumped that into one of these funds.
So he's gonna charge more money if he's gotta do it in the cold.
What's that?
He's gonna charge more if he has to do it in the cold.
He'll have to run the heat in the car to warm up his employees.
Okay, and the third thing is park. Does that have any lights going in there at all?
no lights are on.
Is there a way that the township can look into maybe a grant from TTE
We
to
could,
provide
I mean,
streetlights?
but, I mean, we intend this to be like a rural type park.
Okay.
I mean,
Because when
if
it
we,
start at 5:30.
yeah, I mean, if we
Time
had,
change.
we would be, the intent would be this park would be probably from like sun up to sundown. And at sundown, once we get a gate, it would close off the park.
Well, who would be closing that gate?
Well, we're hoping to get an automatic one, a solar one, they can just
Okay,
say
if
that,
it's an automatic one, what happens to the vehicle inside?
it opens up.
It'd be like the DNR boat launches.
Yeah, it'll open up.
Yeah, the DNR boat launches have a magnetic sensor, so when the gates close
Yeah,
at 11 PM, if you pull up to it, the exit gate will open
yeah.
Okay.
sometimes.
Hopefully.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Any more comments?
Hold on, I have a question. I'm looking at this township zoning map up there. Is it current
Yes,
for the zoning?
yeah.
Because it's been up there a while. I didn't know if there was any changes made.
Well, there is one change up where our park is. It was 2 acres that was commercial, and that's now recreation open space.
Okay, so this lighter green area is rural residential. It's not business, it's not commercial. The lighter green.
Yeah,
Agricultural.
yeah, that's the ag district.
Oh, okay. Well, the reason I'm asking is, I live on Meldrum.
Right.
I take Meldrum Road to Marine City Highway. I'm just concerned at the address of 5680 on the west side of the road. There's a farmhouse, but now there are 3 buildings, a wall built up, and I Google mapped the area. It looks like a scrapyard. Now, township ordinance has been updated. I have a copy, almost 300 pages I printed out. This is not rural or rural residential. Who is following up
Our
ordinance-wise
our
to get
ordinance-
this taken
Our
care of?
ordinance enforcement official has been working with that individual to correct the matter.
Okay, and how long has it been going on?
Well, he's building some barns there, and they're to put the vehicles inside the barn.
But there's walls put up, literally solid walls, and they're building berms up on there. It's not a farm.
Yeah, well, okay, it's in the ag district, but when you have principal permitted uses, it's more than just ag. You could have single-family homes, you could have businesses related to agriculture.
Right?
Yeah.
A whole bunch of cars, and even an airplane is not agriculture.
It falls within our list
No.
of,
It does not fall within any of the ordinances in the township.
There's an enforcement action on this property
Yes.
right now.
yeah,
That true?
that's correct.
Where is it at?
Well, when he's constructing the barn, he's been putting the cars into the barn.
But it's still not barns built for livestock and agriculture, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so why is this even being permitted in a residential rural area in our township?
It falls within the principal permit. He could have a barn installed and put vehicles inside it on his property.
Not like a hobby or whatever?
The plane's gone. It's at Marine City Airport.
Yeah.
He does not scrap cars there. Those are all his own personal cars that he bought.
So they're all licensed and
He
insured?
collects them, and I believe he restores a lot of them.
No, I doubt if they're all licensed, but if he puts them inside the
Can't
barn,
possibly be
The effort is to put them
licensed.
inside the barn and get them out of
And
the
he-
eyesight,
and
right?
he's been doing that. He's been putting.
So when I run my drone over on top of that property. I'm
You
not
don't
gonna
even have
see
to
any
do-
vehicles outside.
You don't even have to do it. It shows all the vehicles behind the ponds,
Behind the
behind the barns.
Right, which it's not in the barns.
Yeah.
Look,
And-
Joe,
Yeah,
It's simple Google Maps,
yeah, I know.
okay?
Use it every day here.
Then why is this continuing?
Like I said, our code enforcement officer has been working with the individual to correct this issue.
For how long, I asked, you still didn't answer that.
He's been monitoring the situation. He's been putting cars into the barns as he gets them complete.
What
You
was that?
still haven't answered my question.
What was
For
that
how long has this
It's
been going
it's-
on?
It's been several months.
What's the address, did you say? If you would-
5680,
Okay, I just didn't get it.
5680
It's
Meldrum
a mile
Road.
between Springborn and Marine City Highway on the west side of the road, in Ben Sofa's old farm,
Across from Mr. Quinn's,
across from Mr. Quinn.
which you made them remove a trailer off their property that they were using for storage, correct?
The Quinn's, sounds familiar.
Yes. So if one trailer on the property in a rural residential warranted an ordinance enforcement to have that trailer removed, how many ordinances are needed for several dozen vehicles?
Would you call me for a minute? From what I understand from the report from the enforcement officer, 6/6/24 was when it was filed. No, sorry, 6/6/24, the third and final letter has gone out. And the next action is scheduled for 9/12/24. So
So the third
probably
one,
next month we'll have some more information, maybe not completely to satisfy you, but he's on it. I mean, there's a
Yeah,
record of
wouldn't
him being on
satisfy
it.
me either.
but 6/6/24, that, yeah, that's only a couple months ago, but a third letter went out, so when did all this start? It wasn't just a couple months ago, if a third letter was issued,
Yeah, it's been, the situation first appeared a couple of years ago.
a couple years ago. That's all I needed to find
By the
out.
way, we also we had a problem with the previous enforcement level in the township. It was not what we thought it should be, and we hired a pretty aggressive, although decent.
Chad, right?
No,
No.
no,
No,
no.
he's our,
Chad is the trigger.
Yeah.
yeah, he's our constable.
Oh,
We
he's the
hired
constable now.
an enforcement officer to try to catch some of this stuff up, and now we have pages
But this-
of enforcement actions.
This began
Which are-
after,
Yeah, and that was not long ago. I mean,
Okay,
new guy, but he's
Good.
good. He seems to be very good, so.
good, good. I'm glad he's following up on this issue.
And also, these kind of things, if there's others, you can call the township. There's a line, if you look, there's actually a number to poke, to get the line
For
to
a-
make a complaint.
Right.
And they can go right through the office, and hopefully you'll get somebody to see you
And
soon.
I'm
Dan,
sure-
thank you.
Kurt will go out there, I think.
Thank you.
I'm sure in the Ag District, there's lots of people have collections of
no,
different.
no, I disagree.
So,
Not to that extent.
Not to that extent. If that were across the street from me,
If that-
I would never shut up.
okay, anyone else has any comments? Okay, any board comments? One thing on the master plan, any comments? Direct them either to our planner, or you can direct them to me and I can get them to the planner, okay?
and, okay, I do have a question about the master plan then, because was that last month we had it in our packet? And I thought we were gonna discuss it, but I don't know if you saw it, I have flags,
Right.
lots and lots.
I could have Steve Casson here at our next meeting.
That would be great, because
Oh.
one, does that have to get approved?
Yeah.
We have to review it before,
It gets approved.
Right.
right. Does it have to be approved by a certain date is what I'm asking?
Not technically. We approve it when we're ready for it.
So there's no deadline with the state or?
No, yeah.
Yeah, because I can't My questions, I can't do it in email.
Okay.
I'd rather do it in person.
I'll have Steve here next meeting. Okay, anything else? We're up for adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
We have motions to adjourn, support, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.